Hello and welcome to the pre-show for Technorama. This is the podcast that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. We're going to start the audio recording in just a little bit. Real quick intros. If you're joining us, thank you. Thank you for joining us. My name is Chuck Tomasi, and that's Craig Stepp.
Hey there. How you doing?
We're going to jump right into it. We just got to pull up a few links, which we probably should have done before we started this.
And look at there, Chuck. We got the banner up.
We got the banner up. Craig's on the ball today. It's a new year. It's a new Craig.
No, same old Craig, just he's doing new things.
Who are you and what did you do with Craig?
Yeah. No kidding.
Let's see. Question of the week. We won 793. Got a few responses there. Good. All right. Wonderful.
Wait,
Oh, we don't have our split screen up for Facebook.
Did you not choose it?
Guess we should have done that beforehand. That's where we got some of our viewers. People are doom scrolling and we come up on their vertical list.
Yeah, I don't know that you can add it after the fact.
Yeah, I don't even know where to add it yet.
Oh, I do. Let's see if I can do it.
General background.
Oh, no, you can't change it now.
Oh yeah, it's in the broadcast setup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I think I know where it is then. Where you go into like my streams and really what happens if you click on the thing on the top?
I did. I clicked edit and then I went to change it.
Remove.
No.
No, don't make that.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Well, next time. We're still learning. Okay.
Hey, I did see there was a banner on the top of this that I thought was not disturbing but different. It said that Bending Spoons, the company that bought Evernote and a lot of other different various apps, they own StreamYard now.
Man, StreamYard's got a lot of jumping through circles that they've done. They were Hopin, and Hopin is the subsidiary of same place that owns Ring Central, and there just seems to be a lot of corporate shuffling that going around on this stuff.
Yeah, and Bending Spoons is buying a bunch of its stuff.
Okay, I wonder why.
I don't know. Bending Spoons is an Italian company, and they, like I said, they bought Evernote, and a lot of people are, of course, concerned about Evernote because they're it has a lot of long time users like me. You know, I still have stuff in there.
I'm concerned about any time a company changes hands like that, the prices are going to go up again.
Oh, well, that's the problem with Evernote. But in all fairness, Bending Spoons has been adding a lot of features to Evernote. So I
don't use them anymore.
I know you don't. I'm saying I know, but I'm saying they've added some value to Evernote. So I kind of see the price jump, but it's a little
They
much.
added a whole bunch of features that I don't need. It's like, give me Evernote Lite where I could just store notes because that's all it was for me.
Yeah.
I didn't use to-dos and reminders, and like it wasn't that good at that, because you need a system that can do things like recurring.
It does all that now.
Yeah, well, a little late to the party. Sorry.
No, but I will say this about Evernote. I know the tasks was a little iffy, but if you have a project note in there, it was great to be able to put tasks on, or like a task, and then they're all consolidated so you can see all your tasks and say, oh, I'm gonna work on this.
Doesn't OneNote do that also?
No. Well, in the Windows version, you can do that. You can add Outlook tasks and they'll show up in the Microsoft To Do app.
Sure.
But not on a Mac and not on the web. So you can't add those only if you have a Windows machine. So I'm sticking with Obsidian. I'm happy with it. I do tweak it a little bit more than I like sometimes, but yeah,
I'm sticking with Notion. I'm happy with it. In fact, I was just talking to Scott Reynolds yesterday about possibly using Notion as the back end for something, because you can use APIs to interact and stick records in and modify records and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking of a sample project, not something I've already got in motion, but instead of using MySQL as the back end and then trying to build forms around that, it's like use the Notion front end because it's already got the forms and fields and data types and validation and et cetera, et cetera. And then you could just use like your web app, whether it's a Discord bot or, whatever, you've got the data stored in a database that you automatically have a front end on.
No, I think it's not a bad idea. Since you're still on the free tier, right?
I am, and I'm ever closer to getting the subscription. In fact, this week I got we should probably record sooner or later. We're letting a lot of material go out here.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit go on the audio recording. That
All
was
right.
the bonus material. Thank you,
Well,
bonus.
we can do that. We can talk about it on the Patreon if you want.
That's true. That's true. Why don't we save that because we do have some that would be a great Patreon topic. So
I'll make a
more
note down
about our
here.
development ideas and tasks, and we'll get to the beginning of the Patreon show, get distracted and forget all about what we just talked about.
Yeah.
Quick, go back and watch the video we did an hour ago. You
All right.
ready?
I made a note in the Patreon thing. So, all right.
All right. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. What are we on? 793. Technorama, episode 793. My resolution is 4K, and so is the RAM in my first PC. Oh, hold on. Minor technical issue. I forgot to plug in the audio jack to my machine over there. One sec.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Plug it, unplugging him, then plugging things in live on air.
I had it plugged in, and then I wanted to watch that video about the guy who was doing the 4-bit Zork.
Yes.
And I needed the audio to come out the laptop speakers, but I forgot to plug the jack back in because the same.
When you walked off, we all heard.
Yeah. that characteristic audio jack. Okay, here we go. 3,
All right.
2, 1.5 again. Technorama episode 793. My resolution is 4K, and so is the RAM in my first PC. Let's upgrade to 64K TVs. They'll have more RAM.
Alternate title: Happy Nerd Year.
Oh, we're going back to the Bullwinkle style?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tune in next week for My Resolution is 4K or Happy Nerd Year. We used to do that.
Yeah, we did.
Well, if you're new to the show, welcome to Technorama. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look. You can tell because we're lighthearted right now.
Yeah.
We're about as lighthearted as you can get.
Yes,
So deal with it.
Dude,
My name is Chuck Tomasi.
He's shifting gears there.
Bipolar is fun. I'm Chuck. That's Craig. This is our show. We're having fun. It's a new year. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Happy
New
Year, Craig.
Happy New Year to you as well. So what did you do for New Year's? Anything fun?
I had a multi-religion experience. So first we went and had a few hours, dinner, played some games with our Bible study group from church. Then we went over and had some drinks and sang songs with the other religion, our Star Trek group.
Let's say, yeah, sounds like it. Yep.
There's only one other religion I could have hit, and that would have been the Green Bay Packers fans, but they weren't around this year. They didn't invite me.
So. At the Star Trek party, they saw the Mother Mary shedding a tear on the Enterprise model.
Put
it on eBay.
It's crying.
Yeah, throw it on eBay.
I did get to practice many of my songs to see how they would go over on the cruise, which gives me a barometer of whether or not I want to enter the talent contest or not.
So, oh, okay.
When I sat down and played, did everybody get up and leave?
Yeah. Well, how'd it go?
It went pretty well. There were a few that stuck around. In fact, one guy said, that was kind of rude of everybody to get up and, when a musician's playing, you're supposed to kind of sit there and pay attention. I said,
literally people were getting up?
I was in the living room and they kind of went to the kitchen to get more snacks and drinks and stayed there.
Yeah.
So I went from about 10 people down to 4 at the end. Well, that's all right. I was kind of gauging the punchlines on some of the jokes, some of the songs. Are they laughing where they're supposed to laugh? That kind of thing.
Well, also how it's delivered. Sometimes that makes a difference.
I've been working on the delivery of some of those.
Okay.
But hey,
just saying.
Even if I don't do the talent show, the Gorns Gong show on the cruise, I can still play, like, sit out in front of the Klingon bar and sing along with friends. That's always fun too.
Yeah.
We did that last year for a while. Hey, enough of the chit chat. We should probably get into the show.
Okay.
So let's start out with our question of the week.
Letters. Oh, we get letters.
Letters.
We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters. I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy.
Mailman, mail today.
It went ding dong right as I was clicking the thing in Facebook. Ding
Yeah.
dong. Like, that was weird.
I know. I did that the other day. What was that? I did something and I got a notification at the same time. I was like, okay, that was weird.
My
Ding dong.
trackpad, when you click it, it does go tick, tick, it goes ding dong. Good sound effect. Our
Right.
question for you last time was, in a future where robots do all the quote real work, what highly specific, strangely human job would you invent for yourself just to stay busy? Sabotage the robots.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to keep my job. Sabotage
have-
the robots.
They have a law, one of what was it, Asimov's laws, that says robots can do no harm to humans.
Right.
We don't have such a law against robots.
I know. Yeah. The robots are like, oh crap, we're
Smash
screwed.
him with a stick. All right. Richard Green says, ponderer, undisciplined philosopher / theologian who doesn't publish but podcasts and posts on social media.
That's him. I think he does that already.
Wait, wasn't the name of the ultimate computer Deep Thought?
That's right.
So that won't work.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Robeson says, Chia Pet Daycare, pudding / Jello race commentator. A Jello? I haven't seen Jello races lately, but that certainly sounds.
What do you
Oh,
throw it
here
against
we
the wall
go.
and watch it creep down the wall?
This one, robots will not be, AI won't be doing anytime soon. Technorama therapy assistant. Is that for us or is that for the listeners?
The robot's like divide by 0.
For those who get overstimulated or
Mhm.
regular shows, or if our robotic overlords still allow them, see more. Oh,
Yeah.
see more. Cat juggler / first aid specialist in claw wounds.
Claw wounds.
Jump over to our Discord question. Tom says, enjoy my daughter's poetry. That you could do, that the robots won't be doing.
Yeah.
They'll just be sitting there. Interesting. Fascinating. Building models full time, says Sweet Steve. That was easy. I have 10 or 15 ship model kits between 300 and 600 build hours per kit. My God, that's a lot of time to commit to that. And the Vasa ship, is easily double it in build time. Now, if you don't know what the Vasa is, that is the really big warship that they built back in the 1800s, 1700s.
Mhm.
Really big, like 3
Oh, yeah.
tiers of cannons. But they built it so big, it was top heavy, and they took it out and it tipped over and sunk.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
Kind of humiliating, but they did find it, and I believe they raised it. Steve, you're gonna have to catch me on that one. He says perhaps a scratch build, the unicorn from Tintin, and I guess I have racked up another 10 or 15 kits before the robots take over. And if that's not enough, I have plastic model kits for days, and the laser cutter and 3D printers, and I think I can keep myself occupied. Humanoid says, no need to invent anything. I just get better at my video games and have more time to catch up on all the movies and series in my increasingly bigger to watch list.
Robot, beer me.
Robot 3D print me a beer.
No,
All right. That takes care of it for this
nope.
week. Yes.
you had 3 on yours. There were
I
2
wow,
of them were your family.
responded to my share. Let's see.
Yeah.
Go to shares.
Martha said professional wine taster.
That she's already doing that. She's making the wine and tasting it. That's like having somebody in charge of accounts payable and
Quality
accounts
control.
receiving.
No, She's doing quality control. That's
Right.
what. All right.
Suzette says, I would photograph the robotics and lifestyles with cameras. Hey, that's creative.
That's a
like
good
that.
idea.
And Lone Guy's Night says, damaging robots on the sly, so my robot repair robots make me more money.
Hey, that's exactly what you said almost.
Well, I was just damaging them. I didn't think about the second half of that and
No,
having a robot damage repair.
turning it into a business.
Right. That's what
I'm sorry, I don't know how this toaster got embedded in this robot's head.
That's the Lisa and Granta's last night at dinner were saying they were talking about school lunches.
Mhm.
And Grantis was talking about the school lunches in Lithuania, and they had the good stuff like lasagna and pizza, but it was limited quantity. So if you didn't get to the lunchroom quick enough,
Oh,
and you had to pay, it was like cash on the barrelhead thing. You showed up with your $3 or $5 or whatever the liti money is, or euros, but you'd get there and go, I want a pizza. And they say, oh, sorry, we're out of pizza. And I said, that's a business opportunity for that kid that dropped out. You show up in the cafeteria and you say, hey, if you really want the pizza, I'll stand in line for you.
he just can't get on campus if he drops out. That's the flaw in your business model there.
I challenge that assumption.
Well,
That dropout kid was always on campus.
well, back when
Am I
in the
wrong?
innocent
You
days
had
of
one
the
of those kids.
hey, back in the innocent days of the 70s and 80s, maybe, but not
Oh,
today.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have a ID badge and check your gun at the door.
Fingerprints and everything else.
Okay. DNA sample, retinal scan.
Right.
But that's where the dropout kid needs to connect with the nerds to hack the system so he can earn some money. I got a whole business going on here.
Hey, going back to the school lunches, even though the pizzas that they had were not great, that was the holy grail for lunch.
Or lasagna.
Maybe. Yeah.
It wasn't like Grandma Tomasi's Italian lasagna, but
Yeah. Well, neither was the pizza.
no, the pizza was,
It was like a slab with some cheese on it. I don't even remember pepperoni on it.
and sometimes if they didn't cut it right, you just got the crust because the cheese hung onto the other slice.
Yeah. Just some sauce. Dang it.
But it's still hot enough to burn the roof of your mouth. So there you have it.
Right.
All right, that takes care of us for this time. We'll get you another one at the end of the show.
Another letter from our listener.
And you know what song comes next?
Just
Just like that worn out cassette in your car.
That's right.
You know what song comes next. So when you hear just that one song on the radio, your brain automatically starts playing the next one.
Right.
This is On This Day in History for January 7th, 2026. It's the 7th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. You know how many there are left. It's 365 minus 7.
Reset the clock.
Don't say that. I think of the Mad at Dad.
No,
show.
I know. Don't go into that. No.
It was on this date in 1610 that Galileo Galilei made his first observation of the 4 Galilean moons, Ganymede, Callisto, Io, and Europa. Although he
Mhm.
was not able to distinguish the last 2 until the following night. They must have been behind the planet or something.
They're behind a tree.
Ready?
So
Ready? You go first, Io.
Yes, right. 244 years ago today, the first American commercial bank, the Bank of North America, opened.
Hey, if you invested $1 back then, what it would be? How much
Oh.
interest would you got?
Yeah.
You'd be like, Fry. Wow, I'm rich.
Yeah.
It's your pin. It's the cost of a slice of
Yeah.
pizza.
Go back. It all circles back to pizzas.
It also was on this date in 1785 that the Frenchman Jean-Pierre Blanchard and American John Jeffries traveled from Dover, England to Calais, France in a gas balloon.
That sounds dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
191 years ago today, HMS Beagle, with Charles Darwin on board, dropped anchor off the Kronos archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yeah.
That same date in 1894, Thomas Edison made a kinetoscope film with someone sneezing. I hope they didn't sneeze at the camera.
Did we talk about that last week?
On the same day, his employee, William Kennedy Dickinson, received a patent for motion picture film.
Oh, man.
Quick, have this developed, Bill. Runs
Yeah.
it down to the photo mat. Hurry, I'm filing for a patent soon.
Yeah. And January 7th, 1904, the distress signal CQD was established only to be replaced 2 years later by SOS because CQD was like, what?
Come quick, dip.
No, leave it.
Dumbass. Come quick. I don't know. I can't
Dummy.
figure out what CQD stood for. I haven't looked that up yet.
Come quick, dummy.
Also, today, 1927, the first transatlantic commercial telephone service was established from New York City to London.
And on January 7th, 1948, Kentucky Air National Guard pilot Thomas Mantell crashed while in pursuit of a supposed UFO.
I generally don't do plane crashes, but that one had UFOs in it, so why not? That same date in 1968, Surveyor 7, the last spacecraft in the Surveyor series, lifted off from Cape Canaveral Launch Complex 36A.
And also on January 7th, 1985, Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency launched Sakigate. No,
Sakigake. I don't know.
Sakigate. Japan's first interplanetary spacecraft and the first deep space probe to be launched by any company or any country other than the United States or the Soviet Union. Good for them.
Happy birthday goes out in the state to Scottish-Canadian engineer, created Universal Standard Time. Ooh, he invented time, so he must have been around for the Big Bang.
The time traveler.
Sanford Fleming, born on this date in 1827.
And German physicist and academic invented the Ries telephone. Johann Philipp Ries was born 192 years ago today.
Born January 7th, 1837, English businessman, founded the White Star Line and shipping company, Thomas Henry Ismay.
And French mathematician and politician. What was I trying to say? I was trying to mix comedian. I don't know what I was mixing there. Emile Borel was born 155 years ago today.
Born January 7th, 1890, the American soldier, pulp magazine writer, and pioneer of the American comic book, Malcolm Wheeler Nicholson.
And also, speaking of, cartoonist. I missed the cartoon. Well, it said American comic book. American cartoonist created the Addams Family. Charles Addams was born 114 years ago today.
Whoa, the Addams family is named after a real family?
Yeah.
Who knew?
I wonder if he really had like an Uncle Fester and
Lurch, Bang, Cousin It. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a real cousin It. Also turning 85 today is English chemist and academic Nobel Prize laureate, John E. Walker. What did he invent? Whiskey?
The Walker.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. American actor Nicolas Cage is 62 today.
And 3 listener birthdays today. We have, or this week. I'm not sure what happened to the audio there.
Yeah.
January 8th is Elvis. Yes,
Hey,
that Elvis Presley.
He's still here and
He's
listens.
still here.
Yeah.
He's just not feeling very well. The 9th is Lingo from the Britain Yankee Pubcast, and our own patron Tim Cook is on the 13th.
Yeah.
That's the way it was on this day in history for January 7th, 2026. Look at that. I got the music perfect. Nailed it.
Yay.
Something like that. If you want to be on the birthday calendar, you go over to chuckchat.com/birthday. Put your
I'm
name
trying to
down
get over
there,
there so I can.
and we'll take care of it for you when it comes to be that time of year.
There you go. It's on the screen.
And happy birthday to the rest of you. If it is not your birthday, if it is your birthday and you're not on the calendar, we wish you all the best.
Yes.
Let's go into the good news. Qbert.
Good news, everyone!
We have some good news. I don't know if you call this good news. This is disappointing news, actually.
Yeah, a
From
little bit.
Slashdot, New York City phone ban, because they banned phones in school, reveals that some students, what was it, like 1 in 4 or 4 out of 5? It's some ridiculous number in here.
Yeah.
Can't tell time on analog clocks because that's what they got in the classroom. And the student was asking his teacher, Miss
What time
Henry,
is it?"
what time is it? Like, that's okay. They can't tie shoes either because they grew up with Velcro shoes.
Well, at first I thought that's embarrassing. They don't know the clock. But then I started thinking it's a different world that they grew up in. Just
We
like,
were joking about this like 30, 40 years ago. Kids these days are not going to be able to tell
well,
time about it when now that we
well,
have
the thing I
tablets.
wanted to bring up was remember when we were younger, they were telling us don't use calculators, and then a little bit later, you got calculators
Right.
everywhere on your phone, and use it all
And
the
that's the
time.
way I was teaching, some of the programming classes in 2025. I'd say, all right, we're going to start by doing this manually. And then when we got into like second or third lab, I said, if you want to use AI, because that's what you're going to use in your day job anyway, go ask it for some help, but understand what it's offering you. Just like
Yes.
understand what the calculator is doing for you, but you could
Mhm.
still do it without a calculator. Just like ship's navigators. You may be out on the gigantic of the seas from Royal Caribbean,
Yeah.
and if your GPS goes out, you still got to know how to use a sextant and read the stars. And
Well,
because you may be
yeah.
responsible for getting these people home without any navigational aids.
Yeah. I don't want to pick on too much but it seems silly that they wouldn't be able to do that. The other thing, which I hear this from a lot of people, and I don't know if it really matters as much. They don't really teach cursive anymore.
Do you need to?
I don't know that you need to.
I don't think you need to.
It's just that the people, some of the people I know, they go, "Oh, they don't even know how to do cursive." I'm like, "Well, it's almost writing differently than English or
Eh,
than
No,
straight." So
actually, it isn't. If you look at most of the letters, you can see they're
you
just
can
connected for this. Like,
no, but I
like the
started as I
capital
started.
S, I looked at every one of them. The only
Mhm,
2 that really baffle me are the lowercase f, because it
yeah,
drops below the line,
right.
whereas a regular one doesn't, and a lowercase z, which
Mhm,
drops below the line, and
it can, yeah.
the straight up one does not. I went,
Mhm.
that's interesting. But
What you know what? Maybe this is a prompt to go a little deep dive. Not here, but maybe later. But why did we even have cursive?
stylistically, I don't know. Why do we have Latin?
Yeah, I mean, I can write print, almost as fast as I can cursive. So, I mean, what
It's
was the
kind of an
point?
amalgam. Some letters are connected, like the cross on if I'm typing doing the word "the," it'll be a downstroke for the T, and then the cross will come across and turn into the H and into the
Yeah,
E. So it's mine's kind of a half cursive, half
I think
print.
part of the thing with cursive was creating your own signature. Which is one thing that they were. I remember being encouraged to do. Make it your own. But how do you sign your name? And I've seen even my son, I've seen the way he signs his name is like mostly print now. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be a little disappointing, wouldn't it?
it's kind of weird. So I don't know.
All right. Interesting. Sign of the times.
Hey, if you know, comment below or email us or whatever.
Voicemail
Yeah,
707-530-2428.
right
All right.
there on.
Next article we have is from Hackaday, another wonderful site that we like to visit.
Mhm.
And this gentleman got Zork running on a 4-bit Intel computer. Now,
Wow.
I would have said, good luck, buddy, but he managed to do it. Uh, he goes into great detail about how he created it's based on the 4004, which is the first Intel microprocessor publicly available.
Yep.
But that's a 4-bit machine. Like, okay, you're not going to have enough RAM. And he found a way to do 8-bit addressing, which it can do, and then do some page swapping of 1K segments, I think it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It
that's
goes
right.
into real great detail. And then he built the Z engine, which is what you need because they didn't
Yes.
port the game to all these platforms. They just ported the engine.
Yeah, and we
And
talked about this last time because
yeah,
I said
yeah,
you could download the Z engine for your. I used to play Zork on my Android phone,
it's very
or
well documented. Yep.
actually, it was my. I did it. I've done it on my Android phone, but I installed it on my Sharp Zaurus. I had a Linux based Sharp. So remember those? Did you?
Yep.
Yeah, and it was had a keyboard attached to it. It was great, and I could play it on there. And I think I had all the ROMs I could find, not ROMs, but the databases from Infocom I could find on there. So
Everything
anyway,
came on PCM CIA cards.
yeah, Right.
There were a couple interesting things he had to do. The thing was not speedy by any means. He would
Sure.
type, south and wait about 3 seconds for the response to come back. So he had
Enterprise level search.
he said it was something like 150 moves or 350. There's a certain amount of moves to do it successfully through. And he had that all in a text file. He said, I used a PC terminal program and then basically piped the input from an input file that said, south, south, take bottle,
Oh, yeah.
drink this, store that,
Mhm.
kill this. And he had all the moves down. And he said, had this automated thing going. He said it took an hour and 39 minutes to run. Yeah. He said, but I'm speeding it up here on the video because nobody wants to watch all that.
I
And then
know.
it gets to the end and it says, the maximum is 150, 350 points. And he said, but I printed out my score in hex because I didn't have enough memory left to do the decimal conversion. It says your score is like 1D0.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so it was very creative. I encourage you to check out the show notes for episode 793 over at chuckchat.com. Go ahead and check Technorama, find
Hey.
that. It's in the is this Remember When? No, this is in the
Hacks.
news. Hacks. It's really well,
Hey.
we didn't play the thing.
I know.
I skipped right into it. Sorry about that.
So he must have been retired because he did have much time to do this.
Oh my gosh. And quite the engineering skills too, to be able to build that custom PCB.
Actually, you know what I thought about?
Multiple revisions.
Everybody at work, at ServiceNow where you used to work, everybody always takes on these little projects. Like you did the Jeopardy and the
Family Feud.
karaoke thing. Yeah. And one time I remember thinking, what could I do on there? It's like, what if I was to port over Zork into ServiceNow? You can do it.
It probably wouldn't take much. Zork in JavaScript would exist. That
Yeah.
would be pretty easy to do.
You can do actually if there are websites that host those Infocom games, and it is a JavaScript interpreter.
I don't know if it was Zork, but it was something else. I'm pretty sure Earl Duque did that at one of the hackathons back in like 2020 before he was hired,
Mhm.
and they won. So he might have beat you to that one, Craig.
I mean, I never did anything with it. I thought about it a long time ago. I just never did anything.
I'm constantly thinking about what my next project is.
Well,
And
no,
then something comes up in my face and it goes, hey, we'll get to this in the media corner. You
Well-
want to do this now? Like, but I was planning to work on this other thing for a
well,
week, so
let's keep in mind that Zork wasn't open source until just recently.
that's true. That's
So my first thought was, hey, that'd be awesome. And the second thought was like, there's a little bit of
Yeah, get the company in trouble from another company. Nice going, Craig.
yeah. I did print or it's on TeePublic. I did make the reproduce the T-shirt that came with A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it says I got the Babelfish because it was very difficult to get, and I screwed up and I put Infocom on the back because that's what was on the back of the shirt. Well, it got flagged. It's the trademark. I was like, oh, and it turns out Activision still owns Infocom, of course.
Oops.
They bought Infocom a long time ago.
I realize if you don't tag them with things like Infocom or Star Trek, they won't come after you.
No, but I was trying to make the shirt just like it was. That's the point. But
Yeah,
I know. Anyway,
maybe now.
Yeah.
All right, quick shout out to the chat room. We got a couple of people hanging out with us. We got Mike Robinson and several others who haven't made any comment, but thank you for joining us. We do this show on Sunday nights at 8:30 Eastern time. We would love it if you could drop by and say hi, subscribe to the YouTube channel, get those notifications, blah, 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 what all the other YouTubers say, or Facebook, so that you know we're online or we've got the week off. If it doesn't sound the alert, you'll know. But we like hanging out with you and chatting along. Doing the live show is fun, even if
Yeah.
it's for a boutique audience, a select exclusive audience. There we go.
exclusive. There you go.
Exclusive. It means only 2 people showed up this week. But hey,
Yeah.
we make it sound like fun.
Oh, there's 3. Very exclusive. Oh, by
Yeah,
the
we're
way,
gonna have to put the red rope across the door now.
there you go. Mike Robinson says, "Cursive was an attempt to confuse robot overlords."
Oh, speaking of getting out.
What? Okay.
You heard about the fire at the what was it, the dance club in Switzerland?
Yes. Yes, that was terrible.
Horrible tragedy. The sad part is this kind of thing has happened before. You know what the cause was?
Sparklers or something?
Yeah, they had some pyrotechnics or sparklers on and they had foam ceiling. Well, Donna said, "Wait a minute, Chuck, that's the same kind of stuff you got in the audio in the
Oh,
studio."
no. Well, don't.
Yeah, but I'm not having any pyrotechnics on this show anytime soon. I can see Craig and I, we got to 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a new studio next week. Bye.
Wasn't it, was it Motley Crue this happened to? They were in a small club and they had some go off and it kind of caught things on fire going up.
I think as part of a building inspection, they should have like a rating. If you can have ratings on video games, you can have ratings on movies, you can, for the mental safety, they should have this kind of health safety thing on there as well that says, this is a class 1 danger building, or this is a class 5 safe building. Have 3 or 4 ratings with red, yellow, orange, green.
Well, like they do with
people walk in, they can go, I'm not going in there. This place is a death trap.
well, it's kind of like they rate, the insulation for why not?
You have to inspect maritime vessels.
Mhm.
So why not point out, hey, there's a foam ceiling here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you go to a
Either
restaurant.
you got to say, look, building occupants, there's no smoking in here. There's
Mhm.
no fire. There's no pyrotechnics, nothing. Or that comes down, or you get a red tag.
Or how about you go into a restaurant? Are you going to go eat at a B rating?
Right.
You
So
know.
I hope some positive action comes out of this. I'm not saying that everything needs to be regulated, but this would certainly help the public
Yeah.
recognize.
Well,
You know.
I don't know. It was a ski resort. You go in there to have a good time over the holidays.
But would you if it had a big red skull and crossbones on the door?
I don't know.
I'd think twice.
Wait, no. It depends on if my wife wants to go in there.
I'd say let's grab a bottle of bourbon and go back to our lodge.
Yeah, right.
We can have a party and
But
dance music.
I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard not to make light
We're
of that
not
at
making
all.
light of it, but
Yeah.
I think there's a point to be made that maybe we should have some safety ratings on buildings so people don't die in fires like this.
Yeah. It was
Let's
terrible.
look at a way we can learn from this and go forward.
Yeah.
As my dad says with every family disaster, what did we learn from this?
All right, Chuck, you got
All
drunk
right.
and was naked out in the street. What did we learn from this?
Alcohol's bad. Okay?
Don't get caught.
Let's move on to remember when.
Yeah, let's do that.
Before the alcohol makes us not remember when. All right. Couple of stories in here. One is about fossilized bones. And originally I thought, wow, we can find out what the dinosaurs ate for dinner. Because it says researchers have uncovered thousands of preserved metabolic molecules inside fossilized bones, millions of years old. Spoiler alert. It's the bones they're analyzing are like 1 to 3 million years old. So they're like human old. But this could
Right.
work on older than that. They said the findings reveal animals' diets, diseases, and even their surrounding climate, including evidence of warmer, wetter environments. One fossil even showed signs of a parasite still known today. They had COVID-19 back then.
Yeah, that was not a parasite.
COVID-19 million BC.
Yeah, 19 million.
So, great article in here. They said up until this point, they've been learning about dinosaurs and their habits and health mainly through DNA, if you could rely on that, if it was still around. But fossils are a little difficult to preserve that stuff.
Yeah.
But through research, they discovered that some of these biomolecules are protected in the bone's microenvironment. So pretty cool stuff. The researchers have applied this method to fossilized animal bones dating from 1.3 million to 3 million years old. These samples came from earlier excavations in Tanzania, Malawi, and South Africa, regions known for early human activity. So they're looking at people and other animals in the area. I don't know. But they're starting to spread out. Lots and lots of great reading in this article. from
Mhm.
Science Daily. We encourage you, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, which we are.
Hey,
Go
I
take a
know
look.
I'm sorry I included this in here because I remember you saying, "Oh, these Science Daily ones are pretty heavy reads."
Sometimes
So
they are.
yeah,
That one
yeah,
was a
this
good one.
yeah, that's a good one.
From Gadgets 360, we have suspected 13,000-year-old cosmic airburst. Remember Tunguska? That was just a few years ago, right? The
Yeah, right.
Tunguska event where something exploded. They thought something struck the Earth. All the trees were flattened. Took like 10 years to get people out there to take a look, and they went, "Wow, all these trees are knocked down."
I saw
And somebody put up
there's
radio.
a picture of it, I think, and
Mhm.
or yeah.
And they said, "But there's no evidence of the meteorite." So they said, "Well, maybe it was an airburst." It exploded right above the surface, which is in many ways more detrimental. Uh, they said something similar to that could have happened 13,000 years ago. They're finding shocked quartz in the sand uh, around Clovis sites. Now, Clovis are the earlier hominid people for like
Yeah.
the just after the Ice Age, as the last ice age was retreating and the Laurentide ice sheet in North America was falling back, we found these pockets of people that were making similar spear points, and they called them Clovis people.
Clovis people.
Around those sites, they're finding this shock quartz, which only happens at high temperature and high pressure, indicative of uh, a strike.
Mhm.
Something they find them out at Meteor Crater all the time. That's how they identified it as a meteor and not a volcano, which seems kind of silly when you think about it now. But anyway, they're saying this could have, this is still a debate, could have triggered what's called the Younger Dryas. Now, as we're coming out of the Ice Age and temperatures are warming, all of a sudden, whomp, it went down for about 1,000 years and we went back into a little Ice Age.
Mhm.
That was called the Younger Dryas and could have been responsible for like the mastodons and giant ground sloths and short-faced bear, all these megafauna in North America going extinct.
Hey, you sound like you just described the movie Ice Age.
Yeah, pretty much. Look, Manny, it's something coming down from the sky.
Yeah. What? Sorry. That's just
So, we're not getting hired for voiceovers anytime soon. Though.
Yeah.
Your Ray Romano needs work.
I know. Hello.
Now,
Yeah,
this
that didn't work
is not officially accepted yet. There's still some debate whether or not it was that, or possibly when the ice sheet was retreating, it caused like ice dams that made big lakes. And when the big lakes went whoosh, it went in and disrupted the ocean currents, and that affected the climate. So different ideas, but they found some evidence that could be from a meteor about that time. So interesting. Interesting. Okay. Also interesting are our patrons. I call them interesting. Is that a kind enough word?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Let's give thanks to the people that make this show possible. We have Alexis Duran, Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen, Abner Braverman, Ben Vaughn, Brad Miller, Brian Brown, Chris Martinez, Chris MC, Dan D. Mancoyer, Dean Jensen, Denise Inglis, Gary Lindros, Jason Pollard, John Clifford, John Noble. I just saw him on TV tonight. Yorga Shrowen, Crazy Joe, Kyle Nishioka, Leon M, Mark Kilfoyle, recently upgraded Mark Kilfoyle, Mike Wills, Saturday Morning Media, Stephen Weshy, Steve Cody, Steve Therian, Steve Webb, Steve London, Sylvain Racico, and Tim Cook. They all went to chuckchat.com/Patreon, chuckchat.com/Patreon. And for as little as $1 a show, they donated and keep us in business. Now, I do have a special call out because this week marks our 10-year anniversary for starting Patreon. And we have a handful of those people who have been with us since that first week, including Alexis Duran, Avner Braverman, thank you. Kyle Nishioka, I think he was like patron number 1.
Yeah.
Mike
you,
Wills, Saturday Morning Media, and Steve Therian. An honorable mention to Ben Vaughn. He came around about a week later or 2 weeks later. So,
and you just missed it. Sorry.
I don't have like the 10-year veteran t-shirt, but I've considered it.
Yeah.
And they're not all at the t-shirt level, but thank you, everyone. Your generosity and support means the world to us.
Yes.
So we may not have the biggest podcast in the world. We may not be quitting our day jobs. Well, I quit my day job, but Craig
say-
still has to go to work.
Yeah. You can see
Sarah Rose
you
said
can see who's
10
getting
years.
paid around here.
Now, think about it. We've been doing this podcast for just over 20 years. So these people have been shelling out the coin half of that time.
That's right.
So the first half was free. Hey, man, we get you your first podcast for free, but the second one's going to cost you.
We got him hooked.
If we can keep doing this another couple of years, we'll have that 50% margin. No,
Yeah.
We're not making a whole lot of money. We're not making hardly any money because it all goes back into paying for the expense of streaming and software and hardware upgrades. And
That's right.
you get the idea. Bandwidth and hosting and crazy domain names, that sort of stuff. So thank you very much for all of that. We're going to kill the music. How you doing, Sarah Rose? No, stop the music. I faded out and forgot. It's kind of a blind thing. You fade down and you hit the abort button, and sometimes it didn't work. So chuckchat.com/Patreon, and you can go support us there. It'd be much appreciated. And for that, you get honorable mention in the show. You get extra episode where we talk about all the cool stuff that we're doing on the back end. We get a postcard every year. And at the commander, we have like ensign, lieutenant, commander. I don't think we came up with a captain level yet, but
Oh, yeah.
commander is the t-shirt level. We probably should have done the same kind of thing for our Star Trek episodes, but I don't think we have enough listeners that to justify a Patreon thing. And frankly, there's already a lot of content there to absorb. Let's head over to the media corner. We haven't done the media corner in a while.
No, let's do that.
Welcome to Blockhead Video. Hey, where can I find some good information about music and TV and videos and things? Over here in the media corner.
That's 20 years ago, Chuck's voice.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Some
All right.
of
So don't pay attention to the dusty counter because we haven't been in here for a while. Tell us what's going on. Yeah.
it's cobwebs. It looks like an old Blockbuster in here.
Yeah. that's right.
Shelves are ripped off the walls.
Yeah.
There's an old 286 PC running the cash register. That's us
With a CRT.
with screen burn in. Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole visual is right there. Right
Yeah.
there. Posters falling off the wall.
Yeah.
Jaws coming soon.
That's good.
I built a Plex server finally.
Finally.
I know people have done this, and I looked into it probably 10 years ago, shortly after I moved in.
Yeah. There's a few ways to do it too.
There are a few ways to do it. In fact, after I upgraded the hard drives on the NAS, I went from 230 some gigabytes free to 11.9 terabytes free. I'm like,
Whoa.
elbow room.
Yeah.
So I said, what can I do? And I've got a Mac Mini running Ubuntu 2404 LTS. And I thought, that might not make a bad Plex server. Because a few weeks ago, Lisa and Grant just wanted to watch a movie, and I thought we had it on DVD. I went and put one of the DVDs in, but for some reason my audio receiver is misbehaving, so I can't watch DVDs. Well, you
Okay.
can watch them, but you can't hear them. Which doesn't do you much
Hey, well, let's talk. Technically, we can watch it.
good. Right. So I said, that seems like a liability. So why don't I digitize these and put them on a Plex server? Now, a Plex server is kind of like your own mini Netflix. If you've got the media or you've got a digital copy, you can put it on a server. Now, I know there's a Plex module or plugin for my NAS, but in doing the reading, it said, yeah, it doesn't have the best processor and the encoding could be a problem.
Yes.
You're going to get some buffering. It's not a high enough power CPU to do that. So I said, fine, you can be the storage. I'll use the Mac Mini. It's a 2014, so it's got an older Intel
Yeah.
i5. I don't know how many cores or what speed or anything anymore. But I said, I did a little Googling. He said, can you run it? Yes. Can you put it on Ubuntu? And I watched a YouTube video, and this guy did a very thorough setup, almost too thorough. Like, here's how I can download Ubuntu. Like, no, watch that other video for that. But I went through and I took a lot of his tips and got it up and running in a basic format pretty darn quickly.
Mhm.
Couple of tweaks I had to make afterwards. Like there's already a listing for movies, music, photos. And he said, "Oh, go and create yours, movies, music, and photos." I went, now I have two. So I made it my movies. So you can differentiate on the menu which
That's a
ones are
good
mine.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So just subtle things like that. Uh, and then how it organized, he didn't describe, he mainly did like movies, but there's some details you need to know if you're doing a TV series. Like
Mm.
this is season 1 and in this folder is
Yeah.
the episodes. So it's like show title, then the season, and then show the file needs to be, Game of Thrones dash S01E01 dot whatever. The harder part was finding an encoder for my DVDs because many of them have copy protection on them, which is annoying and a half. And
Oh, that's easy. That's easy to get around.
Handbrake could do it on the
Mhm.
Mac, but it said, "Oh, if you want to do that, you need what is it, libcss or something." I went, eh.
Yes.
I tried 3 or 4 and came down to Make MKV,
Yes.
which
That's a very popular one. For
that's a very
Blu-rays
popular.
as well.
It's in beta uh for the Mac. It's like 4.1 beta or
Mhm.
something. So you know, it couldn't read everything. It had a problem in like 2009 Star Trek. So I I went and got a BitTorrent client.
Oh,
And
no.
no,
I know.
I'm not gonna get arrested because I downloaded a digital copy of something I already own. So if they come to
Right.
my door and go, "Hey, what are you doing?" I say, "Here's the DVD. There's a digital copy. I didn't do anything wrong." Right?
Okay.
So I've got a BitTorrent client as a backup. And honestly, sometimes the files are better than what come out of the Make MKV app.
Mhm.
Uh, and it's faster to download than it is to rip them.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It
I
is.
went, "What the heck, man?" It took 10 minutes to get this, uh, 4K, 4K file was about 17 gig. I went, I probably don't need 4K." So I got the HD one and it was smaller. It was cleaner. It had the artwork. It had all the details. When I rip them, I don't get all that. So I got to go, here's the poster. Here's the
Oh, yeah.
background. Here's the details. Here's the date
Actually,
it was published.
Plex finds a lot of that.
The metadata, it takes 15 or 20 minutes to rip something, and then
Mhm.
I copy it to the NAS.
No, I meant, auto pulling in artwork and stuff.
Oh, I'm not too concerned about that. It's
Okay.
it's kind of a rolling process once I get going.
Mhm.
Uh, but it's a lot of fun. I've got about 30 movies on there. Season 1 of Game of Thrones. I've got about half of the library in there, and now I told Grantis, I said, "Hey, you got a Plex app on your smart TV?" He goes, "Yeah." I think he's got a Sony and I've got an LG. No, I've got a Samsung. And I said, "If you do, let me know. And we're on the same network. So you can just put in the IP number and the port number and away we go." And then Lisa could watch all her childhood favorite movies in there. I also threw in, while I was browsing her on the NAS, I went, "Hey, it's a copy of our crappy wedding video from 1988. Let's throw that in there." So
Yeah.
in among Star Trek and Star Wars and Da Vinci Code is Chuck and Donna's wedding.
Did you make some album art? You
That's
know? For
well, I already have pictures. Yeah, the
Yeah.
album art is the clearest picture on the whole video. Uh, but it's a nice way to make a personal library of your own. And now I've got them backed up and we could watch them anytime on multiple devices. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of a fun project. I've just got to finish the grunt work of getting everything over to the server. Then I am going to find my big bad archive of MP3 music files and throw those on there and see what happens too. Uh,
Yeah. And you can, there is there's an app, and you can put on your phone
mhm.
and literally sync that music from Plex to your phone.
I don't want all those songs on my phone.
No, I mean, but no. So the thing is, people have been doing this so they don't have to stream like with Spotify or whatever.
Right.
Their music's local. It's already there. So just like you do with a podcast, so you can download
Here
it
it
and you
says,
listen
"I've
to
been
it.
thinking about doing my own Plex as well. I've been inventorying all my physical media, and it'd be nice to be able to take some of those and stream them." I agree. I was trying at one point to digitize my vinyl, but holy Hannah, and I wanted those as WAV files so they were nice and crisp and clear. I mean, you could hear the hisses and pops of the dust
Yes.
going past.
Yeah.
But it is horribly time consuming and it is horribly space consuming too.
Yeah.
So it's like you literally can't encode any faster than 1 second per second. And then you still have to
Yeah.
be listening to stop it when it's at the end of side one, flip it over side two. And, do you want all that in one file or so I may forego that and do the same kind of thing and just BitTorrent is like,
There's gotta be an easier way to do that because people have done it before. I do like a little bit of it can be clean, but I like a little bit of record
oh
pops
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of a sidebar, we were talking about turntables and whatnot, and the Techniques Direct Drive, and I
Yes.
spotted one of those in the wild at the Christmas party. I think we mentioned that on the last show.
Hey, wait a minute. I sent you a video afterwards.
Yes,
Did you watch that little clip?
I did. If you're scratching, yes, I agree.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
required equipment. I was not scratching. Okay.
I know. I
That
was.
was my point, is
Yeah.
we're doing two different things, so we don't need that pad on all turntables if you're a DJ.
Yeah.
So
I know. But that's exactly what I was. Not only was I really playing music, but I was scratching and mixing and stuff.
well, you
was
said,
going on.
"Throw that thing out and get one of these." I'm like,
Yes.
That's
I would do that on any of
not
them.
a universal.
I would have done it on any of them. It wouldn't have mattered.
All right. Anyway, let's get into Pass Me the Remote. We're not starting that debate up from last week.
Because I'm right. I'll see how this is.
You keep saying it enough, it might be true someday.
It is true.
That you're right?
Yes. That's right.
All right, go ahead. Give me your shows that you've been watching.
Okay. So it seems like there was something else. I thought I made a note. I don't see the note. But the first movie was Playdate, and it's on Amazon Prime. And Playdate stars Kevin James and Alan Richardson, who Alan Richardson's currently playing Reacher on Amazon.
Mhm.
And these two guys kind of their kids with two of their kids, they kind of get hooked up together, and there's it's like it's almost like not a spy movie, but there's a lot of action and stuff in it. It's a tough movie, man. It was hard to watch it.
Hard in what way? Did it move slow or was it too violent? What was
Stupid.
the fact? Oh, it was stupid. Okay.
Yeah,
Sometimes when there's kids and violence involved, that's tough to watch.
No, there was some fun stuff, a couple of fun things in there, but yeah, it was stupid.
Okay.
And a lot of things made no sense, and yeah, it was just
Pass on Playdate.
pass on Playdate, and this will be an easy one too. It's a movie called After the Hunt, and it had, let me pull up the cast real quick. It had Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, and Ayo. I must mess her name up. Ayo Edebiri. She was on The Bear. This movie is about, from what I understand, it was about accusations, and it was exploring uh, the situations around them. Trying to believe somebody, but you want to know some facts to kind of back up the accusation, and there's all that. And so, mix that in with these people all work and attend Harvard. They're all pretentious in their characters, and it's like, they're having this weird debate at the beginning, not about the accusation part. That comes a little bit later. But I was like, oh God, there's not enough alcohol to make this, interesting when they're
Another
talking
pass.
about, yeah, because they're doing all the, they're philosophizing about stuff. So Kim and I didn't even finish this movie. We got about 40 minutes into it, and she goes, I can't do it anymore. And I was like, no problem. I can't do it either. So it was just not for me. The way it was filmed too, there was an interesting, I found it was interesting because I do find the way things are filmed or CGI, any of that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
find all that fascinating. And I was watching it, and they're sitting at a booth in a little restaurant. The two people are sitting at the booth, and there's a mirror behind them, and the camera is looking straight on. So one's on the left, one's on the right. And the mirror, I went, wait a minute. How is the camera not showing up there? How'd they do that? It's like, it's
Mhm.
like you were sitting at the end of the table,
Yep.
and they're sitting
Yep.
face to face, and I was like, "Yeah, why isn't they? How did they do that? How
It's a
the camera
vampire.
not? Huh?
It's a vampire camera.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was
No
edited out,
reflection.
but because there was curtains in the windows that would have been behind the camera. So anyway, I just thought that was fascinating. There's a couple of things like that. However, I just couldn't get into it. It's even got a 37% on the Rotten Tomatoes.
That
played
should have
it-
been your first clue.
Hey, Playdate had 23%. So, you know,
Craig,
I just
you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel on these.
yeah, there was a couple other movies I wanted to see, but yeah, that's all right. And
Oh, so you're saying these were Kim's choices?
those are your words, Chuck.
She doesn't listen to the show.
So no, I think we're safe. Anyway, we were batting 1,000 this week.
Okay, I finished up season 2 of Severance on Apple TV.
Mhm.
I know we're a little late, but we had a free month trial that just showed up out of the blue, and I said, "Great, we can catch up." I'd also like to see if I can catch up on Foundation, but I'm not sure I'm going to get to that one. But I won't give any spoilers. I will say that it ties up a lot of things. Like you get the backstory of he severed himself because his wife was in a car accident and died, and he wants to separate his sorrow in real life from his work life.
Okay.
Kind of thing. You get the backstory on his wife. You get the backstory on the company. There's been some organizational changes in season 2. So Milchick, the guy who used to play like the floor deputy to Ms. Cobell, he's now in charge of the floor. Cobell's doing a different thing. I'm not going to spoil that one for you. And he is just having like a bad day after bad day after bad day. We're on a lot more locations for this. It's not all in the basement of this building,
Right.
including the innies are not always in the basement on this. You're like, ooh, okay, that's fascinating. A few plot twists, and I will say that it concludes nicely, but it's open-ended for another season if they desire to make it that way.
Okay.
It was not a happy, clean ending like, oh, good, that's over. No, we got that all resolved. So it's not all resolved. Another one I watched on Amazon Prime was, or Amazon Video, House of David.
Okay.
It's a story of David and Goliath, but it's what led up to that.
You
Starts
talking
out
about the
with,
claymation David and Goliath?
no, Davy.
Yeah.
I think the giant's bigger than you are. It's okay, Dick. Goliath. No.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
sorry.
this is real actors, great costume,
Real
great cinematography.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I mean, obviously the guy who plays Goliath is somewhat camera enhanced because he looks about 11 or 12 feet tall. Ooh, I defy Israel. And Saul is the king, and what happens there with his family, and Samuel anoints David, and they're like, well, we heard somebody was anointed, and God doesn't seem to be with us anymore. Even if you're not into the whole Christian and history thing, it's a fascinating story from that standpoint, and brings out the drama, the family drama, the political drama
Mhm.
of what happened. And I enjoyed it. I really did. It was 6 episodes, easy to get through. Finished up Stranger Things season 5, which is the final season.
Yeah.
I will say that I think we did a quick review on this before. They're turning a lot of things around, going, oh, that's not what we expected there. Oh, clearly the upside down isn't what we thought it was.
It's upside right.
Yeah. Why is it upside down? And then when you flip it, it's upside right. Shouldn't it be upside up?
Right.
Down, up, left. Who's on first?
It's backwards now.
Is inside out now outside out? When you flip it around?
Right.
When Julie was little, she used to say, my shirt is inside outside. I said, well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Watched the finale, which is what, 90 minutes or so. Thought they wrapped that up very nicely. Not going to spoil it.
Please don't.
They did have a honorable mention. Our friend Scott Tyler and listener Brian Brown are playing they have a Discord channel, and a Discord server. One of their channels is, was it the Adventures of Strahd, or the
Mhm.
Strahd is a character, and he makes an appearance, and they're like, the kids are playing one last D&D game, and Strahd is down. And like, that? Like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
So I think there may be a lawsuit against that Scott and Brian and their party
Oh
can
boy.
have against the Duffer Brothers, because I think they kind of looked in and said, what games do they play today that they were playing when they were little?
Right.
Good show. I really did enjoy that. I wouldn't mind going back and seeing the whole thing from the start again. It would give you insights as to where this path is going now that we know what we know,
Right.
where the writers were taking it at that point. Another one I saw on Apple TV is The Lost Bus with Matthew McConaughey. It is based on a true story from 2018 when the California wildfires were going crazy and the town of Paradise was burned. They were evacuating a school, and one of the buses kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Uh-oh.
And they didn't know where it was because they had to evacuate the main bus comm center because of the fires. And they're trying to reach them on walkie-talkies, and they're saying, hey, firefighters, if you see this bus at any intersections, let us know. And even their comms were down. So it was a complete kerfuffle, and the bus almost got burned up, and it's got 22 kids on board. So that was the real drama. So spoiler alert, they made it, and he's a hero.
Hey.
They kind of tell you at the beginning, right?
Okay. All
They
right.
wouldn't have
There's a ticker tape parade at the beginning of the movie.
they wouldn't make a movie about a bus that got burned up with kids in it. That would be tragic. You can kind of figure it out. Why would they do this? All right, one more from the Geek Library. I came across this on my YouTube feed and threw it in here. It's called The Ridiculous Engineering of the World's Most Important Machine.
Oh, I haven't seen this yet.
This is very insightful. It's about 50 minutes long. So sit down, grab a bucket of popcorn, and it's about the machine to create the processors of today, because the way you basically make microprocessors is with light and creating layers, and you can't just use straight up, light bulb light or even LED light because the wavelength is too long. When you put it through the mask to do the etchings, it starts to get distorted. So they have to go with the shorter and shorter wavelengths. And they recognized this was going to be a problem about 30 years ago, but it took them almost 30 years to fix it. So in 2015, they finally get this machine into production, and it is a big machine, like the size of a semi-trailer.
Yeah, the little thumbnail, you can see the people standing in front of it.
And it's so complex. And that's just the machine, because you still have to have the power supply to supply it and the coolant and all this stuff that goes into that. It is incredible the problems they had to solve to make this work. They're firing a laser 3 times at moving droplets of tin, and these are like micro-sized tin droplets,
Right.
to the tune of like 100 a second, that
Wow.
atomize, generate the X-rays in the direction they want. They had to get the efficiency up so they could actually, they said, oh, this works, but we can only produce about 2 wafers an hour. And they go, no, we need like 100 wafers an hour.
2? What'd you say, 2?
Yeah. So there were all kinds of problems that were just impossible that the science and engineering overcame. And it was interesting because at some points, the scientists are up there going, hey, we've got this idea of how you can solve this problem. And they were basically laughed at the conference 30 years ago. And went, and somebody says, well, that's a great idea. Can it do anything practical? It's like, why do we want to make X-rays this way? I don't know. But when they put all the pieces together, then it became, how do we build it?
Right.
And every step forward seemed like it was just another brick wall that they had to bust through, and another brick wall that they had to bust through.
Another brick in the wall.
The machine itself is like $400 million. But if you got $400 million, you can start producing.
Hey, it's amazing that they got that kind of money to spend on it if they were laughed at a conference.
Well, I'm wondering how they did the first 25 or 30 years of R&D. How did you keep this thing funded? Because you can't just go, we need some xenon gas. How much does that cost? It's about $2 billion. Look, ship that right in.
We're looking for investors, but there's going to be a long tail, like 30 or 40 years.
And that was one of the problems. It's like the people who are investing going, "You got anything for us?" Well, we
Right.
kind of stalled out about 2 years ago.
Right.
You can't keep telling them we're close forever.
Right.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. I would love to see a movie made out of this because it's got drama, it's got history, it's got science, it's got accomplishments, it's got failures. It's wonderful. So
It's awesome.
cool stuff. That is it for this week. Our question of the week for you as we sign off is, what is your digital New Year's resolution?
I got some, and I'm gonna talk about it on the Patreon show.
Mine is log out.
Log out.
That's a digital resolution.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So we are going to leave you with that thought as we head on out of here. Let's play the music. If you want to get in touch with us, if you've got an idea for your answer or you got a comment about anything we said today, let us know. 707.
Wait a minute.
10-second
Discord,
version.
I know.
The longer version.
Don't forget about the Discord.
We got that in there, right? That's in the links.
Yep.
707-530-2428. You can get a hold of us on the phone line. You can get a hold of us at email, technorama@chuckchat.com. You can get a hold of us on Discord. There is a lively community hanging out there. chuckchat.com/Discord. We'll take you right there. Once we see that you're in there, we go, yep, you remember, have at it. If you are already a Patreon patron, we will upgrade your status so you get access to those special backstage areas that only the patrons get access to. Oh yeah, we should probably put that on the list of things you get for your patron. I keep forgetting that one. There is some special content there. So until next time, thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you patrons for your support. Thank you, Craig, for bringing us some articles to enjoy tonight. And we will see you all next time in about a week. Give them a binary high five.
All right. 101.
Whoa, that was fun. On the iPad, the faders, they're supposed to be linked on channels 13 and 14, so I can slide one and the other will go. I went, vroom.
Oh,
The audio's gone up on both left and right channel, and all of a sudden it jumps up.
jumped
It
up.
might be time to reboot the iPad.
Maybe. All right.
Fun.
Well,
All right, thank you everybody. We are going to sign off the video and go record our Patreon show. So take care, stay safe. Love y'all. Bye.
bye, y'all.